today we're going to make some grilled pizza. We're playing with my friend Josh's fancy new Napoleon grill, which I have grill envy right now, and I think I really need one of these. It's got two sides. We have two different heat zones. We're going to do grilled pizza on this side. We're going to do steak and vegetables on the other side. So the first thing I'm doing is the grill's clean. It's starting to warm up. I sprayed some vegetable spray on a paper towel that I folded up, and I'm just oiling the grates a little bit so that my pizza doesn't stick. With grilled pizza, the trick to it is you can put the dough straight on the grates, as scary as that sounds. With this grill, it's awesome because they're close together, so there's even less of an issue with like dough falling through if your dough is like really loose. But the trick is to put it on really hot, about 2 minutes on one side to get the dough to start to rise and to set, and then take it off the heat. We'll flip it over. We're gonna top the side that we grilled first, and then put it back on the grill with all the toppings and cheese for another like 3 minutes just to get all melty and delicious. The cool thing about a grill is it's really hot and the heat mimics a pizza oven pretty well and gives you like that nice charred flavor you're not going to get in a regular gas oven. So this grill is really hot. I'm standing close to it. This side of the grill is infrared, which is the side we're going to cook the pizza on. So it's reading about 500 for the heat of the whole thing, but the grate itself is going to be way hotter. So I'm going to put this in with it at that heat right now because I don't want to burn my dough. I don't have a peel. If you don't have a peel, just use a baking sheet upside down with a lot of flour, and you can slide your pizza. For the corn, if you've never done this before, it's really cool. If you take your corn on the cob and still in the husk, what I did is I pulled back this a little bit and removed the silk because that will burn quicker than anything else. And these have been soaking in water so that they won't burn and dry out quite as quickly. While the corn, and the water is going to help the corn to steam inside. Then we can pull it back and season it. Make a little street corn. So I'm just going to throw all I'll put the mushrooms a little closer to where the heat is. They're a little thicker than the asparagus. And then put my asparagus on. By the time we're ready to throw the steak on, I can take the asparagus and move it up to the top if it's not done and let it continue cooking slowly, and I can throw the steak over there on that indirect side. That is fast. It's another good thing about the infrared. That heated way back up fast. It's all the way back up to almost 600 degrees, so ready to sear. And this I do not need to grease or oil because I have a nice big fat porterhouse, which has enough of its own fat in there. I don't think it's going to stick. Grilling is my favorite way to cook every protein and most vegetables. I grill year round, even though I live in New England. I have the grill right outside my door, and I grill year round. And if I had this grill, I would definitely grill year round. I think it makes everything taste better. I think you can cook proteins well in an oven, but steak, chicken, shrimp, most pork, all of it I like better on the grill. This is been about 10 minutes, and now Josh likes his steak medium. This is perfectly medium. The portobellas, you can see that was indirect heat, like 10 minutes. And they're perfectly cooked. And our asparagus, which we moved to the top. Asparagus, in my opinion, should never be any darker green than that. It makes me very sad when I see asparagus that turns that yucky color green because it means somebody overcooked it. All right, so now our pizza is done. It's like perfect. Light, crispy, our cheese is melty. I'm just gonna put some fresh basil on the top. Very traditional. You can top it with anything. I make this pizza for my kids, and all they want is like pulled pork, bacon, and pineapple. I'm going to finish these Mexican street style, which there's lots of variations of now, and you can kind of be creative, but fairly traditional. I have mayonnaise with some lime juice, lime zest, and chipotle seasoning in it. You can use any kind of spice that you like. If you don't like it spicy, maybe just some paprika. And we're going to coat the corn with this. If you like cilantro, I love cilantro. You can load it up with cilantro, but my friend Josh does not like cilantro, so...
I heard he hates it.
Yeah, I heard he thinks it tastes like soap. So it's a genetic thing.
I actually said sweaters.
So you're gonna coat these all over, and then if you like cilantro, you could mix it right into here. You can sprinkle it on top for garnish. It looks pretty, but if you really want the flavor, I would actually put it in with your mayo lime seasoning mixture because it will stick to the corn better. Then I'm just gonna roll these around so you get the whole shebang. And then you finish it by sprinkling with some cheese. Traditionally would be Mexican like the queso, that crumbly queso cheese. You can use feta. It's similar. Feta is considerably saltier, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I've also seen people do it with Parmesan, but something crumbly. And then all we're gonna do is our cheese on top. I mean, and how pretty is it? I think it's really pretty leaving the corn, the husks on there. Presentation, if you had a really big platter of these, like on a table for a party or something. And that's it. It's ready to eat. Yummy, yummy. So another thing that is fun to do on a grill, dessert. I think people don't think of dessert much other than maybe grilling fruit. This is a crostata, which is an Italian, basically a pie, a little rustic tart. I just have, this is some homemade pie crust, but you could use, really, if you want to cheat, buy some pie crust you buy in the store. Rolled it out. This is just blueberries with a little bit of flour, about a tablespoon of flour to help the juices kind of soak up the juices so it doesn't get too runny. And a little bit of maple syrup, or you could use sugar. Piled up in the middle, and then you just fold the dough around it, and I have it sitting on, I do have it on direct heat right now. I'll check it in a little bit and then probably turn that down, but I want to start it with direct heat because I want the crust to get nice and crispy and not just dried out, and especially from the bottom where the fruit is. And the heat is set low because we're going to close it and watch this. It's a little bit hot right now, but hopefully it will come down. I'm going to turn this down even more. Leave it open for a second. So we want it just like your oven if you were baking a pie inside. You want it somewhere around 350, 375, which is about, it looks like it's just a little bit over that right now. A few adjustments on this awesome grill. As you can see, it's like this pie is bubbly and delicious and amazing right now. What I did is I checked on it, and it was getting dark pretty quickly on the bottom. So I ended up turning off the heat completely underneath it, which is probably good on any grill after your first, 5 or 6 minutes, because these grates are going to stay pretty hot, and then kept the heat inside overall around 350. It wasn't getting quite as brown as I wanted it to on top, which on this grill we have this awesome option. It has a row of flames in the back for the rotisserie, so we turn those on, and within just a few minutes it's really nicely brown on top, and it's all bubbly and delicious. So yet another reason that I want this grill. One of my favorite things is this. Come on. How come nobody thought of that sooner? Are you kidding me? Like, how much do you hate it when you have to reach underneath your grill and you're trying to pull at the thing and not, like, scrape your hand to turn this off or to check if it's full? That's the worst. This, it pulls right out. Take it on and off. Put it away. Done.